The morning sun is bright through my open window, and the sound of my alarm quickly has me up and about. I slept surprisingly well last night, secure in the knowledge that at least I've got another chance with Emmy. If I can just keep myself from doing anything stupid, maybe I'll find out what's been eating her recently. Besides me, of course.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
It presented itself, so whatever. I have a few educated guesses, but nothing concrete, and certainly nothing that I'm going to say to her. I'd much prefer to have her tell me herself. Although I can't help remembering the nurse's warning that I might not like what she has to say, do I really need to know that badly? What if it's something awful that makes me repulsed by her? Can I really say that I'm prepared to handle whatever she has to say, regardless of what it is? Emmy said she wanted to tell me without screwing up. What the hell does she mean by that? What's there to screw up? I suppose there's not much use worrying about it, though. I'll find out today. It occurs to me that I really, really need to run this morning, to clear my head, if nothing else. Emmy is waiting for me as promised, looking a little haggard, but otherwise bright and cheerful, much more so than any previous day this week.
Hisao, you're late.
I wave my hand dismissively. Nonsense, you're just early. Emmy grins back, and it feels like we're finally back where we should be with one another. Except now Emmy, not just me, wants to take another step forward. Although a part of me worries that she'll back out at the last second.
Hurry up and stretch, Hisao. I don't want to miss the bus.
The bus?
I said I wanted you to come back to my house, remember? And I promised Mom we'd be there in time for lunch, so I wanted to hurry.
Early start, huh?
It's more for my mom's benefit than anything else.
Well, that's okay. I unsuccessfully try to guess what Emmy has planned, shortly before realizing that it doesn't matter that much to me. I quickly go through my warm-up routine while Emmy bounces impatiently from one foot to the other. She really does seem to want to get moving as soon as possible. The run is over so quickly I can barely believe that I haven't fallen over dead afterwards. Emmy set a blistering pace, and I, in my foolishness, kept up with her. At least you kept up with her.
Yeah, good for you, Hisao.
Well, until the last few laps, I had to slow down just in case, but I don't mind. And Emmy's waiting patiently for me when I finish. As patiently as she can wait, anyway.
Finished? Good, come on.
Grabbing my arm, she practically rushes me down to the nurse's office. You seem to be in a hurry, Emmy. Trying to catch the early bus?
Yeah, I told Mom I'd be back for lunch.
Well, I'll take care of you first then.
But Hisao's gotta come with me too.
Then I'll do you both at the same time. I mean...
If you know what I mean.
The nurse raises a single eyebrow at the statement and peers at the two of us searchingly. Really? Today? Huh. Emmy's response is a nod, followed by a surprisingly shy grin. Well then, we'll make this quick. Emmy enters the nurse's office and I patiently wait outside for her to be finished, wondering just why the nurse seemed to be surprised by Emmy's declaration. I feel like I'm missing out on some joke or the significance of today, beyond the fact that it is clearly significant in some way, of course. Shuja's word, the nurse has Emmy out of the office surprisingly quick, and I take her place after promising to meet up at the front gate. The nurse takes my pulse and listens for a bit. Your heart? Oh, wait. Your heart beats faster than usual. Been pushing yourself again, have you? Well, Emmy seems in a rush to get through the run, so... not surprised. Today's rather important to her, you know. I suspected that would be the case, but I have no idea why that's the case. She hasn't told you? Interesting. So, you're not gonna tell me either, then? Oh, no, I'm not. I suspect Emmy has her own plan for explaining today to you, and I don't want to mess that up. You'll find out soon enough, so what's the rush? Now, as for your heart, I would take it easy for the rest of the day. No spontaneous races or anything. Got it? Got it. She won't have her running legs on her anyway, right? Well, no. But if you think something like that's gonna stop her... good point. I don't think it'll be much of an issue today of all days, but still. If he's trying to reassure me, he's doing a terrible job. I'm quickly becoming more and more worried about what today would be for. Like suddenly finding out Emmy's in a cult or something. Yeah, that's what you're worried about.
Yeah.
At the same time, if today is such a big deal, then Emmy wants me to be with her for it, then maybe she really does want to grow closer to me. Maybe this will be the answer to all the riddles, to all the sleepless nights, and the sudden mood swings. Either way, I barely remember to thank the nurse before taking off as quickly as I dare to my room, to get a shower and throw on some decent-looking clothes. If today is as important as it seems to be, I should dress appropriately. Emmy, of course, proves me wrong as soon as I reach the front gate, wearing her usual shirt and shorts. So at least I know it's not a terribly formal affair, whatever it is.
You're early, Hisao.
Not as early as you. Eager beaver, are we? Emmy cheekily pokes her tongue at her tongue out. But you know what I mean. She did the thing with her tongue, not that thing. The bus.
This time, anyway.
So done. The bus stop isn't very crowded at this hour, which seems to please Emmy, and we end up relaxing a little as we wait. We sit in silence for a while, but I can tell that Emmy's trying to work herself up to say something. I don't have anything to say myself, so I sit waiting for her to talk. It doesn't take too long.
So, I'm sure you're curious as to why the nurse thought it was weird for me to be bringing you along today.
I was a bit, yes, but if you're not ready to tell me... Emmy stops my sentence by placing a finger on my lips.
Don't tempt me, Hisao. I want to tell you this, but I'm just uncertain as to how to go about it. I don't want to keep delaying or deferring. I just want to be able to say it.
So, just do it!
Yesterday you said tomorrow!
Don't let your dreams be dreams!
Hisao, you're freaking me out.
It's not Hisao, it's Shia!
It's John Cena!
Oh god.
All the memes.
Yeah.
You know it's not going to be that easy for me, Hisao.
So treat it like running. Warm up to it with something small and easy and go from there. But don't do it too fast, okay? I'm a patient guy. I can wait for you to get to it. Emmy seems to consider my words, weighing them against what is probably a desire to get it over with. I will admit, as much as I keep telling Emmy to take her time, I wouldn't mind her getting it over and with either. But somehow I know that Emmy probably needs more time than this bus ride will provide to get it all out, whatever it is.
Yeah, maybe you're right. The bus stop probably isn't the best place for this anyway, but just to make sure that I don't go back on my word, I'll at least say this.
She takes a deep breath, lets it out, and after a moment says in a low voice,
We're going to see my dad today.
The words hang in the air, and I can see that Emmy's afraid that I'll panic and disappear in response, which a part of me almost wants to. Wait, why?
Dude, you just told her you'd be there for her anytime. And she mentions her dad once, and he's like,
I'm out. I'd be totally okay with, you being part of a cult, but I'm not okay with meeting,
I had
your
mentally
dad.
prepared myself for a cult. Because I'm a freaking psycho. Been hanging around Kenji too long.
But it would be stupid for me to back out, or to suddenly abandon the promise I made to be there for Emmy when she needs me.
Yeah.
The nurse thought it was so weird of her to bring me along. She doesn't bring anyone along, or at least I'm willing to bet that she hasn't before today. The day seems to take on an even greater significance. What has it taken Emmy to even get this far? And why is that the best I could manage to respond?
Yeah.
I don't know what I should say.
Nothing to think. Just promise that you're gonna come with me.
Oh, of course. You know I will. Emmy smiles wanly, looking a little relieved.
Good. In that case, we better get going.
The bus pulls up just a little after she finishes the sentence. Oh, the timing. In real life, we would sit awkwardly for another half an hour.
So yeah. How was your Sleep.
It was good.
Cool.
Good.
Bus should be coming soon.
The weather's pretty
Oh yeah,
cold.
it's good.
Yeah.
Clouds and stuff.
Oh god, there's the bus!
Oh, thank Jesus. Vague memories of my first trip out here come to mind as I step off the bus, but unfortunately, they're too vague to be of any use. I will be the first to admit that I don't quite recall how to get to Emmy's house, so I let her lead the way. She seems content to walk in silence, and I myself have no idea what I could possibly say, so the two of us arrive at her house having said nothing since getting off the bus. Emmy's mother opens the door and doesn't seem surprised to see me standing next to her daughter. I expect that Emmy would have phoned ahead to let her mother know of the change in plans.
Emmy, Hisao, you're just in time. Lunch is just about ready.
Great! I was afraid we might be running late.
As fast as you were going this morning, I doubt there was much of a chance of that.
I certainly hope she wasn't too much of a bother, Hisao. She tends to get a little paranoid about being on time when food's involved.
I hadn't noticed. That earns me a swat in the arm from Emmy, who, despite the serious nature of our conversation on the bus and the almost brooding quiet walk, has quickly become cheerful again. Probably to keep her mother from worrying about whatever it is Emmy plans to tell me later. Mrs. Ibarazaki ushers us in, and in short order we're around the table devouring lunch. I hadn't realized how hungry I was until I got there, but for once I seem to be eating almost as much as Emmy.
Goodness, it's a good thing I made so much. The two of you are acting like you haven't eaten in days.
I skipped breakfast this morning.
Me too.
Had to catch the bus, I assume?
That and I figured you'd make too much food, so it wouldn't matter if I skipped breakfast.
Well, it's good to know that I'm predictable.
Emmy nods enthusiastically, and the conversation falls off again as we very nearly clear the table of anything edible. It is a testament to the sheer amount of food on offer that we don't finish everything. I lean back in my chair with a sigh and thank Miss Ibarazaki for the food.
I'm glad you liked it, Hisao. Now, has Emmy told you where we are going?
Yeah, sort of. Is it far from here?
Not really, but we'll drive there to save time. It closes kind of early.
I nod in assent and stand up, ready to go. Well then, shall we? Miss Barazaki nods and leaves the room to grab her keys. Emmy, I notice, has started to fidget nervously. Second thoughts. Emmy smiles tightly at me and shrugs. She's fallen silent again, which probably means that I'm right, and she's starting to regret bringing me along. Not that I blame her. She's done such a good job of shutting me out that I doubt it's easy to suddenly open up. Honestly, I'm worried that she's forcing it. But she said while waiting for the bus that I'm not supposed to give her a chance to back out, and since I promised to go with her anyway, I suppose there's not much of a choice. I can't go back on my promise, and she can't go back on hers. I just hope that the both of us are up to it.
We're off.
Emmy's mother blows to, what? Okay. Emmy's mother blows through the dining room, collects the two of us, and heads out the door at a brisk pace. Now I know where her daughter gets it from. The car pulls up at the cemetery gates, and I feel Emmy tense up beside me. I reach over and give her hand a comforting squeeze, which causes her to relax a little. Emmy's mother doesn't follow us, explaining that she prefers to visit the grave alone. Emmy steps through the gates and looks back, as if to make sure I'm still there. We step into the cemetery. I don't feel comfortable in cemeteries. Gravestones litter the ground, each one serving as a reminder that someone used to be alive and is no longer. How many died yet? Oh my god, I don't— Oh, Hisao, please. Onegaishimasu. Oh, don't think about it too hard. Oh god. Oh. Okay. How many died young? How many were as old as I am now? When do I wind up with a marker of my own? How much longer do I have left? The concept of not waking up, not seeing Emmy anymore, is not a happy one. It frightens me, and I very nearly turn around and exit right then and there.
Dude, you're not dying. You're getting better.
I don't want to go among dead people. I don't want to see their stones and think about who they were or what they could have been if they'd only had more time. Then I look at the girl next to me, and my resolve returns, Emmy striding purposefully down the path, eyes clear, setting a pace that's very nearly a jog. The sooner we get there, I suspect she thinks the better.
We're here.
A gravestone, wholly unremarkable in everything except for the name etched upon it. The grass has grown around the base. Emmy's eyes are riveted to the stone. After a few moments, she turns around, looking surprisingly calm, yet solemn.
Pink's not actually my favorite color, you know.
What?
I'm warming up to it.
Ah.
People tend to think that pink's my favorite color. I think it's because I like strawberries, and even though those are red, they just assume that pink's the right color for strawberries. And that it's my favorite color, but it's not. I'm too polite to tell anyone otherwise, and of course it's not the kind of thing worth getting worried about, but I bet even you thought pink was my favorite color. Blue. That's my favorite color. My mom and dad are the only two who knew that, and now you do too.
Thanks for telling me, I think.
You're welcome.
There's a pause as she considers what to say next, drawing a quick breath.
I can't carry a tune to save my life. I can hum, but actually singing a song is something I've never been able to do. I don't mind because I'm not a fan of karaoke anyway.
Well, that's one potential date idea out the window.
People all think that I'm a really popular and friendly person, but I only have a few close friends, probably because I keep everyone in the dark, and I think it's also because I hate the idea of losing a close friend. There aren't many people worth the risk. I'm terrible at saying goodbye. I sometimes think that I only run because it's what I used to do with my father. You're not my first boyfriend. I dated a guy for a long while during my second year at Yamaku, but in the end he turned gay because I didn't want to get closer to him. He couldn't live with that distance between us.
Guess who?
Oh. Her rate of speaking increases slightly, as if she rushes towards the finish line.
I'm actually 1 year older than you. Everybody thinks I'm younger because I'm short, but I had to skip one school year because of my accident. They initially thought I was paralyzed when they pulled me out of the wreckage. I'd lost my legs already, but they were afraid that I wouldn't even be able to use what was left of them. After surgery, it was clear that their initial assessment was mistaken. I couldn't feel my legs because of shock. Short-term paralysis due to the other trauma I'd experienced. My recovery was one of the fastest they'd ever seen, or so they told me. I never found out if they were serious about that or if they told that to all the patients learning to walk again.
She pauses, gathering herself for one last effort.
8 years ago today, I lost my legs, and I lost my father as well. He died on the way to the hospital. I didn't even get to go to the gravesite until 2 months later and couldn't attend his funeral.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. That's what everyone always says, that they're sorry. I hate hearing that, like anyone could have done anything to change what happened. You know the best piece of advice I got? These things happen. I don't even remember who said it, but I guess they didn't have anything better to say. But it's true, you know. These things happen and there's nothing you can do about it. They aren't necessarily planned and they aren't always bad and they aren't always good, but they are. So I made the decision that I would live without worrying about the future, and to be sure that I never had to say goodbye again, I decided I wouldn't let people get close to me anymore. After all, they could be taken away at any time, and you know what?
She laughs a little bitterly. Her eyes start to well up in tears, and I step forward to embrace her, but she holds up a hand to stop me.
Not finished.
A deep breath, and she continues.
It worked pretty well until I met you and saw that you were trying to adjust to stuff here, so I thought I'd help, and then you were so nice and I couldn't help it.
That sweater vest, though.
Looking hella Hella classy there, Hisao.
It's autumn, and it's fashionable,
Yeah,
and
he probably bought it at Le Chateau, because they're all about the Argyle. The fall 2015 line.
The tears. We're only joking because it hurts. That's it. We're only laughing because
Laugh
it hurts.
away the pain.
The tears are flowing now, and she accepts the embrace this time. The rest of her sentence is mumbled into my chest.
I tried not to fall for you, but I did. And then I tried to keep you at a distance like with my first boyfriend, but I couldn't. But I've been so scared because I don't want to lose you, and I might anyway.
Hey, I'm still around, right? And maybe I won't be forever, but don't you think it'll be fun while it lasts? Yo, don't what? Stop.
While it
Stop.
lasts?
Whoa.
Hisao. Dude. She just said she was afraid of losing you.
You can't do this, my boy. You can't do this.
No.
Neither of us could survive the day. There could be a bus crash or something, so, oh my god, you're not helping!
Your, word picking is the worst. Like, he could have said, oh, I could have, fallen down a manhole and
or have a heart attack.
Or have a heart attack, but you bring in a vehicle crash while she's visiting her father who died in a vehicle crash? That's so stupid.
Remember that conversation with Yuko and tact? You
This
do
is
not
not
have
tact.
no, you have none of it.
I wonder if we're gonna get the bad ending just because Hisao's being a freaking idiot. We won't though.
Yeah. But so long as I know that I've been with you, I don't think it matters. A sudden thought strikes me and I can't help laughing. My condition had me scared of dying so badly that I immediately seized the opportunity Emmy presented to improve my odds of living longer. But without Emmy, would there have been any motivation to keep up with my running? It hits me that Emmy is the reason I want to go running every day, so I can spend as much time with her as possible. Emmy looks up at me confused. We'll go on living until we stop, and when we stop living, we'll be able to know that at least we've had a good time together, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Because I love you, Emmy, and right now, that's enough for me. Emmy smiles through the tears and steps back from me.
You know, it's funny.
What is?
I thought that the best way to live in the moment was to do it alone, but now I don't think I'd have it any other way either. I'm glad I met you, Hisao.
I'm so glad she didn't, take anything of that personally whatsoever.
What do you mean, bus crash?
What do you mean, not forever? Are you planning to break up with me? Well, these things happen. Emmy and I stay by the grave for a while, as Emmy pays her respects to her father. When she's ready to go, we exit the graveyard side by side. Emmy's mother drives us back to Yamaku. The trip back is very quiet. We wave goodbye as the car drives off, and I glance down at the girl leaning on my arm. How are you feeling? Emmy shrugs non-committedly.
I'll be fine. Come on, let's go.
We pause outside the girls' dorm, and I turn to face Emmy, ready to say goodbye.
Why don't you come up for a while?
Okay.
They gon' bang.
That's it. No, they're just gonna play some Uno or Monopoly with Rin.
Or watch Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill. The walk up to her room is in silence. I'm not sure why I supposed I'd be turned away at the door. I guess I just assumed she'd want to be alone. Her mom, the nurse, how everyone who knew the significance of today seems to think it's best to leave Emmy alone. But she took me into the graveyard with her. She told me the whole story of what happened on the day she lost her legs. She wanted me around. The significance of this does not escape me. Emmy opens the door and steps into her room, not even bothering to invite me in, holding the door for me expectantly. I step in, and the door swings shut behind me.
Hey, can I ask you a favor?
Sure, can't guarantee I'll do it, but... Emmy giggles and pulls me into a kiss that starts off soft but deepens into something almost desperate.
stay with me, please?
Her voice has dropped to a whisper. The question is barely audible over the sound of her own breathing. There's something about the way she asked that question, the hesitancy in it, the quiet voice, that makes me think she doesn't mean tonight. No, she means exactly what she said. Stay with me. Not tonight or forever, because both of us know there's no such thing as forever. There's no time limit to her request. There's just the request. The favor. Can I do that? Can I stay with her? Of course. We embrace again, Emmy guiding me towards her bed, stepping backwards with care until she sits down on the edge.
Cuttlefish! Or chinchilla!
I get the chinchilla with a pumpkin.
I got the cuttlefish this time. And kids, you know what that means.
Yeah, that's it. All the sexy times. I collapse next to Emmy, who almost immediately curls against me, smiling. Mentally, I feel grateful that Emmy keeps her nails short. Otherwise, I think, oh, whoa!
You know, it was such a tender moment.
That escalated.
And now you've just brought in this extra element. Like,
there's so much dialogue.
I'm so good that she could have drawn blood if if she had nails, because I'm just so good.
It's not even it's probably 90% that, but sometimes it's just in the heat of the moment. I'm just saying. There's so much dialogue that we missed when this happens. The first time.
Oh god!
I the first time it's
imagine.
Like fan fiction, like 30 extra slides of dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I sit up briefly to dispose of the net. Really? I didn't think.
The way you paused was the best. Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, they cleaned up.
Yeah, and they
chilled.
Yeah, after. And they chilled. They actually Netflix and chilled afterwards. For a while, we lay in silence, savoring the feeling of being next to one another. Emmy is the first to speak.
Aye.
Oh. Why was I expecting any different?
I thought it was gonna happen earlier, so that nah. Okay, here we go, tits.
Hey, Hisao. Thanks for coming with me today. If you know what I mean.
Oh, done! I smile and plant a kiss on her head. Of course. So much pleasure. Emmy snuggles closer, and I feel her breathing begin to slacken as she begins to drift off to sleep. Just as she's about to fall asleep, she wakes up enough to mutter a single sentence.
I love you, Hisao.
Then she's out like a light, leaving me feeling like I'm on top of the world. I draw the slumbering Emmy as close as possible, pull the covers over us to keep the chill off, and fall asleep as happy as I've ever been. $10 says Rin is the one who wakes us up. The morning light seems to reach further into Emmy's room than it does into mine. This results in me waking up earlier than I would have if I had gone back to my room last night, as had previously been our routine. I did not realize it until this morning, but this is the first time we've actually spent the night together. A small movement from my partner's still slumbering form causes me to look to the side. Hair splayed across her face, Emmy continues to sleep peacefully, curled up next to me. It's slightly weird seeing her without her trademark twin tails, but it's also a look I could get used to. The small size of the bed here necessitates her curling up, but I'm pretty sure she would have done so anyway. The covers are nearly over her head, and I smile as an errant strand of hair causes her nose to twitch slightly. Unable to help myself, I draw her a little closer, a move which she seems to think is a good idea. Her steady breathing raises a trail of goosebumps on my chest, but I don't mind. I'm no longer tired, but I do feel a need to move from my current position.
You do not feel a need.
Oh.
No.
I read that one wrong. Emmy's warm body in repose against mine is far too comfortable to move. That makes sense. I gaze up at the ceiling and consider how it is that we got to this point. We've been close for a while, but not this close. It seems like only yesterday that she ran into me in the hallway after apologizing, decided to take an interest in my well-being. But that grew into something else, which I at least was not expecting. One thing is for certain, having found Emmy, I will try as hard as I can not to lose her. The morning musing is interrupted by further movement from Emmy. Her eyes flutter open and she seems briefly confused by my presence in her bed, as well as our current state of dress, which is non-existent. Oh, then she smiles happily and sits up, her face looking down at... Okay, see, I don't understand this. And I'm not going to spend too much time because we could spend this time. But I don't get why in movies, when the girls wake up, they feel the need to take the sheets and cover their body when just a few moments ago,
Yeah.
I was seeing everything. Like, is that just a mental? I swear to God, it's weird.
That's what separates it from like a regular show and like HBO.
Oh man.
It's like it's the tasteful side boob, right? Like there's some tasteful side boob there.
Oh man.
Oh jeez.
Good morning, Hisao.
Hi. Sleep well?
Yeah, I did. Exhausting day yesterday, you know?
I think back to yesterday's trip to the graveyard. Yeah. Glad to hear you slept well.
How do you sleep?
Well enough, although you kept hogging the covers. This earns me a shove and a stuck out tongue. I chuckle, and Emmy giggles a little, and we fall quiet for a while. I soak up the feeling of how right it all seems, waking up with Emmy by me, crammed into a bed made for one person. It's something I could get used to.
They have bigger beds. Like you can buy a big.
They're in the dorms, though.
Yeah.
But
you. Yeah.
Hey, Hisao.
Hmm?
Thanks for sticking around.
No problem. Saved me the walk back anyway, right? This draws another giggle, but then Emmy's expression turns serious again.
Now get the fuck out.
Walk of shame! Get out of here!
No, really. I kept trying to push you away because I thought that was the right thing to do, and you stuck around through it all. I haven't made any of this easy for you, but you stuck it out anyway. So really, I mean it. Thank you.
She punctuates this by giving me a kiss, pulling back and looking at me with an expression of affection. I reach up and ruffle her hair, smiling all the while. I'm stupidly lucky, I think, to have this girl come through everything after my heart attack, and to somehow have found this girl is nothing short of a miracle. You're very welcome, Emmy. I couldn't bear the thought of giving up on you. Or you up. Never gonna give you up. I'll even continue to stick around, if you want.
I'd like that.
That settles it then. I don't know how long my heart will keep working, and I don't even really know what I'll do after this year is over, apart from going to university. As long as Emmy's around, I think I'll be okay. I've managed to help her, and she's managed to help me. If we keep doing that, we'll be okay, I think.
So, Hisao, what do you want to do today?
I swear to God, if I see cuttlefish, I'm out.
Is
Are we done?
is
What's that? That was it! That was it! That was it! Good one.
Yay!
That was
Yay!
good. That was
Yay!
good. Second time's the charm. I'm so happy.
We did it!
We did. She looks like Sailor Moon in that concept art.
A little bit,
really
yeah.
Quick, and then what's that?
Alrighty.
Oh, so good. So good. Oh, look at that face!
That's just so cute.
She's adorable. She's like a magical girl.
She's a what?
She's like one of those like magical girls.
Yeah.
She is a magical girl. Let's be honest.
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
All right. My dad was actually Matthew McConaughey. And he crashed driving a Lincoln.